For the past couple of weeks since the election, the consistent message coming out of the Biden campaign has been that it's time to come together, to unite behind common interests. But today, we did hear a much different version from some of the more progressive members of the Democratic Party who held a press conference outside DNC headquarters demanding immediate action on their proposals for economic reform and for climate change. Here's what they said.
That's what our next move is to make sure that the Biden administration keeps its promise. We know that we don't just make that demand and walk away. We have to organize for it. We have to bring the heat for it.
We're on a different timeline, and we're going to make sure that the Biden administration sticks to our timeline, is moving towards our timeline. And so I ask all of you, do not move from the needle. Do not. We are more than them.
That at the Democratic National Headquarters in Washington. Joining me now is Republican Congressman Dan Crenshaw of Texas. Congressman, good to have you with us tonight.
Great to be back.
So what's your reaction when you hear those members of Congress, colleagues of yours, what they're pushing for at this point?
Yeah, well, I got to ask the American people, or listen to them. Are they who you want in charge? I don't think so, and I think that message was largely rejected at the ballot box, to be honest. Look, Joe Biden has to deal with a simple fact. He invited all these socialists to his little dinner party. He made Kamala Harris, she's the most liberal senator in the Senate, made her his VP pick. She's a signatory of Medicare for All, takes away your private insurance, a signatory of a Green New Deal. Green New Deal is considered a crucial framework for climate change policy, according to Joe Biden's campaign website. So he invited all these socialists to his little dinner party, and he can't be surprised when they got a little drunk on power, and now they have a very loud voice, which is exactly what's happening. They're not incorrect when they say that they're winning within the Democrat Party. Now, I don't think they're winning over America, because we need to remember something. Republicans took back almost a dozen seats in the House, and we should be pretty happy about that. I think Democrat platform and policy was largely rejected this time, and this is what you get when you put socialism on the agenda.
So, Joe Biden is going to have to fight against that. He has said he doesn't want to take away your private insurance. Obviously, he's going to have forces pulling against him, but he's going to be able to say, look, I got elected, so go home and be quiet.
Yeah, well, I wish he would fight against it, but I do not view him as this principled leader. All we've seen from Joe Biden over the years is really moving with the political winds just to be popular and be his party's nominee. So, yeah, he'll say that he's going to protect your private insurance, but let's not forget, he was part of the Obama administration who lied to us about keeping your doctor. You think they're telling us the truth about keeping your private insurance? The public option is simply a slow roll to Medicare for all. If you look at the economics of it, there's really no other way out of it. It does eventually get rid of your private insurance by undercutting all private insurance. They named the Green New Deal in their campaign website, and they can attack our energy industry. They said they want to transition away from oil and gas and fossil fuels. This is what makes us energy independent. It's actually what is our fracking has what has decreased U.S. emissions back to 1990 levels. So these people, for one thing, don't know what they're talking about. And second, I think they're lying when they say that they're so-called moderates.
This is Jamal Bowman, representative-elect Democrat from New York as well. This is what he had to say about it being time for payback.
Black and brown communities organized across the country to make sure Joe Biden won the White House. And he did that. But now it's time for payback. And now it's time to make sure that we invest the resources necessary to rebuild our nation in a way that is representative of all of us.
Reaction to that, Congressman?
Yeah, so it's interesting terminology. When they say rebuild, what they really mean is destroy, right? Because I think AOC tweeted today how she wants to keep people locked in their homes and then spend taxpayer money paying them to be unproductive and to lose their jobs. This is not rebuilding anything. This is destroying our way of life. And for what? I mean, now we're getting into a different subject, and for what, right? What's the benefit of these lockdowns that they want so badly? There is no benefit. I mean, scientifically speaking, the data is out at this point, and the benefits are basically nil, at best unproven, but the costs are enormous. They're hurting people. This is what they're advocating for. And it's it's radicalism to the extreme. Let's not forget that the Democrats gained more to their squad and lost the so-called moderates. It's not a good scene for the Democrats.
No. As you point out, there's a lot of Republican pickup in the House, and we spoke with Nicole Malliotakis of New York, who she's the sole GOP representative from New York, and she says she's putting together a squad of her own of those members in the House. So it's going to be interesting to see that battle of ideas. Representative, thank you very much. Good to see you tonight.